You remember back in elementary school when everyone would tell you to follow your dreams and do what makes you happy? Little did I know that those two simple sentences of encouragement would end up being the biggest lies of my life. We have no choice in what we do anymore, not that we ever really did. Society dictates what our future holds for us, and we just follow the path laid out in front of us with our heads down. If, however, we just took a second to look up, we'd realize that we're nothing more than another person in the production line of engineers, doctors, lawyers, and accountants. I remember growing up full of hopes and aspirations that one day I'd be a professional soccer player or an astronaut. So what happened? Reality struck and I could see everything I'd hoped for shattered before my eyes. I, along with many others, succumbed to society's expectations. It's almost as if it's done on purpose. In elementary school, they encourage creativeness and implore you to think of a career you'll enjoy doing. Then middle school rolls around with the emphasis being less on creativity and more on practical careers. Sure, you'll have your occasional art or music class, but majority of your time is spent honing your skills in the sciences and mathematics. And at last, high school. This is where you really decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. You have 4 years to discover what you love doing and if it's something you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life. Or at least, that's how it should be. Instead, you're given only 2 years to find out what you want to do for the next 40 years. They shove science, math, and English courses down your throat until you want nothing more than to throw up. Yes, I know fundamental math, science, and English skills are all very important, and you never know if a child has an affinity to any of them. However, the sheer volume in which they are thrown at students is unnecessarily overwhelming. You're only allotted one or two electives per year up until grade 11, but until then, what you do is forced upon you. The 2 years in which you're supposed to decide what type of field you want to pursue are the years in which you have almost no choice as to what courses you take. By the time that you can choose multiple electives, you've already decided on the type of career despite only being exposed to certain predetermined courses. It isn't only the schooling system that is to blame. Family, friends, and society as a whole is at fault for our lack of choice and freedom in our careers. A rat in a maze is free to go anywhere as long as it stays in its maze. This quote, despite being used to describe people in a dystopian world, A Handmaid's Tale, is a perfect description of students choosing career paths. Whether this holds true only for Asian families or not, I don't know, but we're given a choice to become an engineer, a doctor, or a lawyer. There's this illusion of choice that we get to choose what profession we do, but in reality, we're only given a choice out of a few options. We're free to choose our career, as long as it's one of those predetermined ones. I've been ranting about how we have no choice in our future, how we have been groomed to follow certain careers, and how we've been drained of our creativity. Now's the time for the solution, right? Wrong. The most frustrating part of it all, there's no escape, no way out, no alternative. There is, however, one way to make the best out of it. If you find yourself in a situation where you're forced to choose between career paths decided by your parents or others, the key is to find something that you enjoy doing in those careers. I'm pursuing engineering next year, and although my parents have been pushing it on me for my entire life, I didn't let it get the best of me. I found out that despite my distaste for chemistry and calculus, both integral to engineering, I had an affinity to computer science and physics. So rather than focusing on the negatives, I focused on the positive, and now I'm looking forward to engineering rather than being something I dread and only do for my parents.